Well, hello everyone. What a special treat I have today. I've got 4 of our young actors from the Mamma Mia production of last weekend at Souhegan High School. Joining me today, I have 4 of our stars who I'm going to let introduce themselves and the role they played. So, if you would.
Hi, I'm Morphia Alton, and I played Tanya.
Hi, I'm Lucy Stover, and I played Donna Sheridan.
I'm Abby Maroon, and I played Sophie.
I'm Mitchell Jacobs, and I played Harry Bright.
So, my friends, I came to your Saturday night show, which was sold out, which for a high school musical is not the norm, and is quite unexpected. And as I understood, Friday night was a near sellout, and so was Sunday afternoon. So what's it like now that you've spent the last 4 months of your lives dedicated to this production, and it's over, and you look back on how successful it was? What are you most proud of about this show?
I think for me, the thing I'm most proud of is just how it all came together in the end. We had some struggles along the way, some late rehearsals, but it really came together with the costumes and the set, and then the actors just brought it together. We had a really great ensemble cast as well. And Mamma Mia is one of those shows where the ensemble really is the driving force because they're in most of the numbers. So having them there and being so supportive of us leads was really special for us.
I agree, and I really look back on the collaboration between the ensemble and the leads and the directing team in this particular show. I think that was what really made this show as magnificent as it was. It was really a team effort this time.
It takes a lot of hard work and a lot of practice. And we had some people that were like brand new to theater and brand new to the program. And so it took a little push to get people comfortable and like ready to like express themselves in such an interesting way. And I like personally was really proud about like all the dancing and stuff because I was watching videos back and everyone was just having so much fun and like smiling. And even when we weren't dancing, we were all hugging backstage and like in a circle swaying to the songs and stuff. And it was really cool how so many people who didn't know each other up until like December 17th like got to become like best friends by the end of the process.
Well, this year we did something that we don't usually do, which is we had 2 backstage mics. So as there was the band behind this mysterious curtain, and then behind the curtains the actors would enter through. We had a mic on the right side of the stage and the left side. So the ensemble, or even like me or Abby or Lucy, if we weren't on stage, we would go up to the microphones and we all had our harmonies that we had learned through rehearsal processes and would sing them into the microphones backstage.
So Lucy, why the theater? Why is theater important?
Theater is so important to me because it is not just an extracurricular. And that's something I really focused on this year with my senior project. I'm sure a lot of you guys feel the same way, but I feel that theater is sometimes devalued in our community, and I really think that it's important not only in learning and building friendships and developing skills like you were just talking about with harmonies and dancing and getting ready to go into performing arts at college, but really in education. Personally, theater has taught me a lot about empathy and what it's like to play the role of another character, whether it's Donna Sheridan or last year as one of the ugly stepsisters in Cinderella.
Mitchell, we have people on stage acting these parts. How would theater be different if it was all robots?
That is a very interesting question. I think that the difference for that would be that you wouldn't have the human connection that you get when it's 2 people having an intimate scene on stage. Lucy and I had a duet together, and at the end you could always see our facial expressions in the videos just sort of making that connection with each other. Last show we almost cried after. And it's one of those things where you just can't really replace that. And it's also seeing the human journey that a lot of these characters go through, because it's really a personal thing that we experience each night and each performance is the emotional growth of our characters.
I agree with you. Funny story. Last show, Lucy and I were bragging about how we never messed up.
Yeah.
And so the last scene of the show, during the wedding, she and I have a conversation, like a side conversation, and people in the audience laughed at a time that I wasn't expecting it to happen. And so I forgot my line, and Lucy and I started bouncing off of each other and making stuff up.
On stage.
On stage. We got the general gist of what was going on, but they weren't the right lines at all.
Morphia, did you connect with your character?
Oh my gosh, I definitely did. It's funny, this past year I do a lot of theater outside of just the school, and I've been on a streak of playing these very different characters for myself. So Tanya, love her, but she's not really like me at all. I mean, I'm not 40 years old, and I'm not really, a cougar per se. That's kind of what she is. And she's very, very confident, which is something that I stole from a lot, and I learned from her a lot. She's not really afraid to be her rawest form of herself, and that is something that is so important, and I really learned from that.
How do you act in a character that you can't relate to? How do you mentally transform yourself into that character?
Well, I do a lot of research for roles. Like, I think I've watched the Mamma Mia movie at least 20 times by now, so picking up on a lot of their mannerisms, I'd even take notes while watching the movie. Of course, Jen, the director, sits with us, especially the leading characters, and we talked kind of about our backstory. We even had a sheet where we would write down our backstory, how old we were, where we came from, what we were on the island for. So that helped you prepare, and then also kind of thinking of the people in your life that kind of resemble the character you're playing. Like, my mom is very glamorous, and Tanya is very glamorous, so I kind of pulled some of that into her to help me live this 40-year-old woman's life that I wouldn't be able to live otherwise.
Thank you, Irene, for helping
Yes,
us.
thank you, Mom.
So,
I think I wouldn't be the confident person I am today without theater. Something I really identify with my personality is confidence and the ability to ask for help when I need it, and the ability to hold conversations that might not be easy. And I think that's really what I got from theater.
Like, I know that college is like kind of like a scary place for some people, and I get a little bit like nervous in crowds and stuff, but like what Lucy was saying with like confidence and how theater really instilled that in you. Like, Sophie was someone totally different for me in the sense that she was so out there and so bubbly and like fun. Like, I'm bubbly and fun too, I guess. But like she's like just very outgoing and like courageous and like just tries things to see what will happen. And I think like when I go into the real world, like I'll have that part of her in me to like just be outgoing and be, just have the thought process of maybe something won't go right, but I'll try.
I personally feel really lucky to be able to go to Sauhegan High School. I'm a part of student government. I'm really involved in student government at Sauhegan. And just, we have visitors from other schools come in and talk to us about their student governance structures and just how their schools run. And I think that the student agency that we have at Sauhegan is really so mind-blowing to me because of seeing what it's like at other high schools.
I say to every single person that asks, Sauhegan is exactly what you make of it. You go in and either you are ready to learn and ready to be molded by the teachers and the way the school is and kind of take it all in, and if that's how you go in, then you'll get a great result out of it. You will get everything you want and more because all the tools are at Sauhegan. It's just learning how to use them and learning when to ask for help and letting the teachers guide you, but also kind of creating your own path, and Sauhegan lets you do that.
Sure, learning geometry is important, but so are people skills and being able to agree with people or agree to disagree, because in real life you're not always going to get what you want. But you really have to find that compromise, and that's what Sauhegan's taught me how to do, is how to find compromises in any situation, whether it's in school or in theater.
Is that I just really like going to school. Like, no, I love school. Like, I'll come in first period, like every day, to see Julian, Mueller, Northcott, and advanced bio.
I'm in that class.
Yeah, I know. And like, it's fun, and I know like sometimes taking a test or taking notes isn't always the greatest thing in the world, but I always come out of a school day like having a good time. And it, like, the community at Sauhegan is really like great.
And something that Sauhegan could do to improve currently is the students have a lot of questions about the changes that are being made. Granted, our classes are kind of missing the complete like turnover to the competency base, but we're still very kind of like confused on what's going on, and we hear like one side of the story that might not be fully accurate, and one teacher might think they know what it is, but not necessarily. I think something that could improve is that, like, these changes being made, even though they might not affect our classes, maybe educating everyone on like exactly what it is, whether that's an email to all the students, like specifically saying what the change is going to be.
One of the only things I really get frustrated about on a frequent basis is sort of just where do things go necessarily? Like, community council passes a proposal, where does that go if it's a maintenance issue, if it's a faculty thing that the administration would implement? We seem to have a problem sometimes in having someone say, maybe this isn't my job, but I think it's my job, it might be my job, so I'm just gonna do it, which I think is part of the reason why it's taken so long for us to get gender neutral bathrooms, even to the point where we're talking about, okay, this is gonna happen on this date. For a while it was just sort of eventually. So I think that having people sort of take responsibility, not be afraid to take that responsibility, because Sauhegan's such a conscientious community, we want to make sure that we're not stepping on anyone's toes, and I think that sometimes makes administration or faculty or even students afraid to get in there and get things done.
If you guys were a Broadway show, you guys know that you'd be back this weekend to perform again, and next weekend probably as well. So how about we set a date for 10 years from now, you guys after college and you get established, how about you all come back and redo the show? Yes.
I wish
love
it would be
that.
so.
Love
I wish it would be so fun.
Well, thank you guys very much for spending some time with me. It's great to share your thoughts about the show and about Sauhegan as well. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Yes.
Welcome. And that's our show for today. Thanks everyone.